Hey, Ken. Ken, Derek. How come I cannot hear you? Hello. Can you guys hear me? Oh, you have to unmute yourselves.
I can hear you.
All right. How you doing, Derek?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
I might take this show on the road on my phone at like quarter of after run, but I'll be listening on my phone.
Sure thing. Actually, I'm glad you are the two that have come in. Ken, if you can hear me, that's Derek, and vice versa. Well, while he's muted, okay, you have to go. Okay.
No, I'm just turning off my light in the background.
Oh, okay, cool.
Looks like it's shining in everybody's eyes, shining off my bald head.
It looks like you're a saint because of the light in the back of your head and everything.
It's shining off the bald head.
There you go.
It was buff today.
Yeah, so while Ken tries to unmute himself.
Did I finally get it?
Oh, there you go. Now you're muted.
Good gracious.
All righty.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you. Heard the name. Nice to put a voice to the name anyways.
Good.
I guess I gotta, do I do my video, CJ? Start
Yeah,
video?
you can do the video.
I don't know
I'm
that.
gonna leave the others on the waiting room until just give a brief 2-minute introduction to you guys. Ken and I go ways back. Our sons play travel ball together. I got to know him through baseball. Great man of God, great man, great father. He's happily retired by the lake. He keeps on telling me about these boats out by the lake.
A lot of bass boats this morning.
Nice.
Thing is, I've never fished in my life, basically. So.
Yeah, and so we got to finish up the training the week before you and I did, Derek.
Okay.
And then Ken, Derek is somebody who reached out to me via LinkedIn, and as we got to talking, he's a Catholic who actually reads the Bible and knows the Bible. So we connected.
There's a bunch of us.
That's good. That's good.
Gotta find them.
Okay, we got two people there. So at least you are kind of briefly able to see put a face to the name.
Yeah.
And then Monday we'll get to talk a little bit more. You got two others waiting in the room. And so actually everybody here thus far is fairly new members. So I think it'd be a good opportunity for us to review the indicatorPRO, how to get into it. I'm sure they have a good number of questions, and feel free to interject since you guys have gone to a deep dive with me. Alrighty, so let me admit. There you go. There you go. Good afternoon, John. How are you? Munish, how are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Here you go.
How's it going, CJ?
Doing good, doing good. Let's see. John actually has a story to tell. John, if you would kind of hop in and introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, and how was your result of using the Indicator Pro? Because I know that you were on Facebook for quite a while, and it took a while for you to kind of jump in.
Yeah, so my name's John Wozni. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I was watching on Facebook for a while just because, to be honest, I don't really know. I have to watch you for a while to be able to trust somebody that I don't know, especially when it comes to money. And I watched you for about 6 months, posting a lot of wins, and I said, okay, it's time to give it a try. And then we spoke the night I bought the Indicator Pro, and the next day I tried to use it on a little bit on a live trade. I did do some paper trading with it, but I decided I wanted to give it a try with some money. And I think it was the first day I got 30% on NVIDIA. And then the second day I got 60% on NVIDIA. And Friday was my third day. I got into the Pinterest, and I'm just swinging that right now.
Yeah, yeah. So right from the get-go, he started running. So that's awesome. Welcome, John. This will be, I think, very helpful for everybody else. And Munish, I don't know if you can get on voice and even video. We only got 5 of us here. Can you briefly introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is Manish and I am from Dallas, Texas. Just got introduced to Indicator Pro, but I have not bought it yet because I'm not active in the Tradingview. So
Okay.
right now I'm just watching it, try to understand. But I'm not that kind of a person who can do like 5-minute, 10-minute scalping or something like that.
Okay.
So now I'm, because of my work schedule also, sometimes I get very busy, sometimes I'm very free. So
Yeah.
my intention is to just trade in the futures like after hours, like
Okay.
because of options, there's no manipulation in futures as compared to options, plus no time decay and nothing.
That's
So
true.
either I will start with the small futures and maybe options in futures. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just exploring the idea. So next week on Monday onwards, so I would work on a what do you call it, a simulated trading platform from TD Ameritrade, and then see how whatever indicators I'm using, I have developed some script. How does it go? Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we do have a couple of people who are doing futures trading, and they were asking me, CJ, is there a way to use this on futures? And yeah, and the answer is yes. But this is not the setup for futures. What is it? There's a different setup. Let me.
Yeah.
I hope everybody can see the screen.
Yep.
But this is the setup for the futures, right there. And so this one is for futures trading, and obviously, you know, if you're after hours and you're trading it, or you know, before work and you're trading it, this is the one that you would use. You wouldn't use the Indicator Pro that we're presently using, okay, because it's not maximum, it's not tweaked for it. So I tweaked it to match it. So if ever you decide to jump into Indicator Pro, I'll help you set up the futures trading part.
But that means I need to subscribe to the TradingView also, correct?
Yes, you have to subscribe to the TradingView Premium. No, actually, Plus is fine because you don't use that many panels for futures. You really need just, you know, the 3 panels. And so Plus is fine.
Okay.
And then you have to pay for the real-time quotes in order to come in through
Understand.
TradingView.
Okay,
And
understand.
yeah, and that's wait, somebody's in the waiting room. No, okay. And so and that's, I think, $4 a month.
$4, that's not fun, bad.
Yeah, it's nothing, especially for futures. I don't know if you do ES as opposed to MES, but you do ES, $4 is like, so one split second of a movement, So
Yeah.
uh,
And for futures, what is the optimal time frame I need to use? 15 minute or 30 minute?
for futures,
Yes.
some people use 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I have a special setup for 10 and 2.
10 and 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we'll talk about that when we do the setup, and I'll walk you through that process. As a matter of fact, I'm making a video later this afternoon to try to post it up, because one of our users wanted to market it and be an affiliate for that. Her name is Monica, and she does futures. But okay, so but watching this here will definitely help you
Sure.
understand it a little bit better. So I think let's start with John. I know you needed to tweak some stuff and had some questions. So what can we do in order to tweak it for you?
Well, actually, now I have an add-on question, because I actually traded UVXY Friday with the Indicator Pro, and it worked. It worked, but I was using the 10-minute, and just from what I know on technicals, I jumped in before the buy signal, and the buy signal came the very next candle.
Yeah.
So I would like to, I'll even wait for your video on how to adjust for futures too, because I just discovered the UVXY, so I'm fairly new.
Right.
But I've been studying hard, and I just discovered the UVXY on
Do you find that helpful?
the Indicator Pro or the UVXY.
The UVXY.
I do, and what I did is I actually traded an option on it. If you look, I bought 22 contracts on at 9:45 in the morning, and then. But I'll fully admit I didn't have any lines drawn. It was new to me, so I was a little scared and sold it when it got to $9. So I only made $1 per contract, and then it went all the way up to 18, and I was like, damn it. But yeah, I do want to get the future adjusted for that, because it seems like the UVXY is a fairly easy thing to trade especially if you understand technical analysis. Even a little bit, I'm not great with TA, but I know support, resistance, trend lines.
Good.
I use VWAP and 200 EMA.
So you're ahead of the curve, which is great.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and as far as so I'm new to TradingView. I've only used it for 2 days, and I don't know what the purple candles mean. That was one of my questions.
Okay. So
I see
Ken or
this.
Derek, what is the purple candle?
Indecision in the market.
Okay, good. I also wanted to know what the stars meant, but after looking back, I noticed it just looks like it represents a doji candle.
Ta-da!
Yeah. So that I answered my own question waiting. The purple I didn't know. I've never used Fibonacci clouds before. Fibonacci is fairly new to me.
We'll go over that and how to practically use it.
Okay. Yeah, so there's some indicators on the chart I've never used before, because I've always just used 921, VWAP, and 200. And so I just kind of want to get a better idea of what I'm looking at, so I like to fully understand everything I'm looking at. And if I don't, I got to dig into it and all that.
Yep. Very good. Let me see. Okay. Malav, welcome. So John, to answer your question, so several things about the Indicator Pro to kind of note. Don't think of it as like, that is the gospel truth that is being told you, like, ta-da, this is the place to buy or sell.
Right.
Those are, think of it as an alarm saying, ding, take a look at over here.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes they come later because within the algo, it's taking into account not only the candlestick, which you are able to see on the UVXY, but it also takes into account like this, not the single candlestick, but formations of candlesticks.
Okay.
So within it, it'll look for like a bearish harami. It'll look for bullish harami, bullish or bearish engulfing. Okay, the three white soldiers, things like that, in order to let it trigger the buy or sell signal.
Okay.
Okay, so sometimes it seems like it's coming. Hey, how come it's coming a little late? It's because of those things. It's waiting for multiple things.
Yes.
Okay. So that's number one. Number two, the inspiration of this was when I had left financial services, company called Prudential. I was a fee-based planner. And when I left, a few of my clients actually followed with me. And one of them actually said, CJ, I don't understand this. This is just confusing. This is just a bunch of drawings to me. Could you make it like an Apple iPhone? Okay. It just, if I'm supposed to buy here, it tells me buy. If I'm supposed to sell it here, it tells me to sell. Can you make it super, super simple?
You'd be super rich if it did that.
Exactly. So that was the inspiration for it. Okay. So in terms of tweaking it, I realized that, okay, you can see the buy and sells, but if you just follow that, you're going to get confused like constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So that's what it is. Okay, so you do need other confirmations. Now, there are a lot of indicators that are basically telling you the same thing, but if you have, how people sometimes have like this type of panel, like 3 or 4 panels below the chart. Okay. A lot of those people are basically having too much information, number one, but also number two, all those indicators are basically saying the same thing.
Yeah. No, I had 3 of them up at first, and then I took them off. I was like, I don't need these. I just have RSI. That's all I put on there. Just RSI.
You can do actually you don't even need RSI either, but whatever helps you, you put it in there and work with it, right? So in terms of when you were doing UVXY, okay, especially in the morning, try looking at the 5-minute.
Okay.
Okay. So if you know that the trend, like this is the trend, right? Try looking at the 5-minute. And even in the 5-minute, look at how it's bouncing right here, at the 1184. And then finally there's a yellow over blue. So there's a crossover. There's a doji, there's a hammer, and then there's the bullish engulfing candle, just going boom like that.
Yes.
And ever since then, you could have taken it. There's a sell over here, but again, it's above VWAP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote a checklist that's next to my laptop. It's pretty much copied your message about bullish. It's over the blue, crossing the yellow, over
Perfect.
VWAP,
Perfect.
Just a little checklist that I can just reference real quick, help with my discipline, because my biggest issue is discipline and emotion, and I know that's the hardest thing to master, but that'll come.
Anybody else who has that problem, where you want to raise your hand?
Everybody.
Virtually or on Zoom. Exactly.
Me
Me too.
Cards. I do the same thing.
John, that never changes.
Oh, I know. I just hope it'll get a little less effective on my decisions.
Gotcha. Yeah. So definitely the discipline comes with experience.
Now I was back testing just looking back at UVXY, and I don't know, I didn't look far enough. It was just something a buddy mentioned, and I always got to look back and see if it's true. But I noticed a lot of things happen at noon on the UVXY, and I think it's because people are taking profits for lunchtime. I don't know, but like if you look at Friday, it's usually the opposite of what I noticed. Is you could run a call in the morning and then a put in the afternoon. Friday was a put in the morning, call right at noon. You would have made money all day long.
Yeah.
But I looked back on Thursday, Wednesday, and it does that.
Okay.
It moves a lot at those times.
So keep in mind, and part of the reason that you see it on UVXY as well as this actual stock is the following: 11:30, London closes,
Right.
EMEA closes, yeah.
and so for that reason, and then a lot of people in New York, the market makers, they're off to lunch.
Right.
So
And that's what-
technically, 11:30 to 1 o'clock, or sometimes 1:30-ish, that's lunchtime.
Mhm.
So things can move that way, but you'll notice that typically around that time, lunchtime,
It's
the volumes are low,
right.
right? That's also number two. Because the volumes are low, people can
Volatility's low.
manipulate the prices fairly easily just by jumping in and jumping out.
Right.
Okay, so those guys will give you a headache and give you a whiplash when that happens.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'll just go to lunch.
Exactly. And so do I, and so should we. We should just shut it down and take a breather, because whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen 2 o'clock or after.
Right.
Number three, if you're doing options, that 11:30 to 2 o'clock, especially if it's very, very short options, that 11:30 to 2 o'clock is theta burn. Okay, so
Yes.
you're basically paying for your lunch.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's a good idea not to really get into anything at that time.
no, you definitely don't want to. I've done it from time to time where I would jump in at 11:30 or 11:45 because, oh, look at the movement, and I forgot to look at the volume, and next thing you know, it flattens out. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's something else to keep in mind. What else am I missing from the middle of the day, 11:30 to 2 o'clock, that we need to keep in mind? Okay. And then Fridays, especially every third Friday of the month, whatever you have observed, sometimes you can just basically throw it out the window. Let me show you one thing that rarely happens, and it happened Friday. Right here. That is 340. Okay, so it was down here all the way to 340. And right there. Even Amazon, Spider. Yeah, Spider was the only one where it actually flattened out, but all the others were fairly. This was popping. This was popping. When you look at 340. Okay. So when you look at UVXY, the VIX was already kind of starting to come down. But when you look at the UVXY and VIX, they're typically in correlation. So when VIX goes up, UVXY goes up, the VIX S&P 500 will go up. Okay, because it measures volatility. And my observation is that UVXY tends to make first move
Okay.
and VIX tends to follow very closely, but it tends to follow. That's the sense that I get. But Friday, this is something that happened that rarely happens. And when it does, this is when I took off my hands and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Mhm.
You know, something is manipulating it. What's going on? And then it came down to two. I'll go over as to what the theory is. But when something like this happened, that is unusual. And you have to wonder, okay, I don't know which way it's going to go. Okay. Part of the reason is that it's OPEX. There was $2 trillion of option expiration that was taking place.
Mhm.
2 trillion. 2 trillion.
It's a lot of money.
That is ginormous amount of money. Okay. And number two, when QQQ and SPY are going up, while the volatility is going up, okay, either it's measuring the OPEX taking place or there's market manipulation taking place. One or the other, depends if you're, a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I am.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay.
CJ, is that why we had so many purple candles on the QQQ? Because
maybe. I'm nothing is off the table, right? Because there was a lot of it, whereas even SPY too. But when you look at the stocks themselves, they just flew off, and I got trapped in my puts. So on that note, when things like this was happening, they were trapping the puts and basically kicking them off their positions. So, second theory is this. Towards the market close, the reason UVXY was increasing, even though the prices were increasing, is that all these puts were either getting stopped out or selling to get out of their positions. So it keeps on going up. Okay. But the reason UVXY was going up is that the market makers or the major institutions were hedging themselves next week for a potential downfall because of the existing calendar that we have. Okay, so anyway, I don't want to belabor that point, but by and large, UVXY that's why it's helpful. You can have this here and on a 10-minute basis, or you can have UVXY on a 5-minute and the rest of the others in 10 minutes, and let this be the guide in terms of the direction that the market is going. So if UVXY is going, anticipate that the stock price may drop. Now, you can't get out every single time that it drops. Okay, you still have to follow these things. Okay, you still have to follow the indicators to exit. Otherwise, you'll get out too soon and get too nervous. Just see that as a flow. It's ebbing and it's zigzagging. So, but how much is it zigzagging? Okay, just keep that in mind. As long as it's not, starting to nosedive, follow along. Look at this is what happened all Friday afternoon. Apple, Meta. It's what happened, and my calls paid, which is great, but I had more puts than calls, so it is what it is. Other questions? Any questions from either Malav and Munish in regards to the indicatorPRO in its usage? Something that needs to be made clear?
Not because I've not used the indicatorPRO yet.
Okay.
But are you taking into account those dark pool flows and other options, big heavy whale flows or something like that?
I am, okay. So for example, I use black box stocks to get the order flow of what's coming in, okay. And what I'm looking at is, first of all, there's so many that come in that 90% of it is useless, okay. Having said that, okay, and in terms of dark pool flow, it's helpful, but keep in mind that major institutions. Oh, what happened, my love? Welcome back. Keep in mind that for dark pool, okay, keep in mind that major institutions typically they don't have to report it during market hours. They typically report it after market, like 4:15. So for day trading, it's lagging. For swing trading, that may be helpful. That may give you an idea as to what has been going on in the market. And so what I would do is, so for example, here's a dark pool movements of all these tickers after hours. Okay, so these are the ones that have been already traded. Market is closed, but they started reporting it after hours. All right, so we are having Amazon. Let me see. How do you do bulls and bulls? Okay. So something like this, you would have to download and then evaluate, how much of the dark pool that has come in was towards Apple or Amazon. So here's dark pool for Apple that came in at 147.27, $15 million worth. It's a block. So that kind of gives you indication of the activity. What it does not tell you is who's buying, who's selling. Because at a given price, there's one in this institution that's selling it at that price, and the other institution is paying that price. So you don't know if it's a bullish or bearish type of move. Here's another one at 59 million. You just know that there's a lot of movement in a given stock. So you always have to keep that in mind. Amazon. So this is the options flow that I would look at. Okay. And by and large, it is leaning half. In terms of the actual transactions, is by and large half and half. There's no, clear leaning one way or the other. But this one, the gold one, for next Friday, somebody had put in over $250,000 at a strike price of 105, while Amazon is trading at 119. So all the others are small to big. Here's 100,000, 31,000, 15,000, 83, 119. That's a put. So the calls, just in a quick scan right here, okay, the dollar amount is maybe like 40% or 30% of the total amount of money that has come in for puts. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is interesting now that you mention it.
Thank you, but please go ahead with your agenda. I don't want to waste others' time also.
No, not. Is this helpful to you guys? Because there are services that you have out there that talk about dark pool. Is like, yeah, use this and you're going to have the inside track. Yeah, but not 100% and not really. Do you absolutely need this? No. Price action and volume. Technicals will allow you to kind of not have to worry about this stuff. All right. So let's talk about was it so Munish, you had mentioned how you cannot necessarily trade, do a day trade, right? And
Yeah, I want to avoid it. Unnecessarily like tension, mental tension.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this was originally created in order to do hold on. Was originally created in order to do swing trading. Okay. And it is actually by pure accident that I have discovered that it works on day trading as well. Okay. So having said that, let's say you want to swing trade with this, how would you do it? This is what I'm looking at basically. Here's the weekly, here's the daily, and here's the 10-minute. So I'm looking at the weekly, and I want to get a sense of how Tesla is moving. And so far, it's a bearish continuation. So even last Friday, even as it rose, the candle itself, the Heikinashi, okay. So that's the candle formation. So it's showing as bullish, a 3 bullish reversal. Okay. That is purely, so this, by the way, it's purely based upon price. Okay, open, close, pricing. One reason that I like Heikinashi is because it takes into account not only the price of it, but it takes a volume weighted average pricing within the candle. Okay, and it's based upon not just the price movement, but how much money is coming into that particular price. And for that reason, this is, I think, in my opinion, a better reflection of what is happening in the market and what is happening specifically to Tesla in terms of the buyers and sellers. Okay, and so when we look at Friday, it's looking like Tesla is going to come back. But from a weekly perspective, here's a sell signal, and then you have the death cross. The volume is definitely above average right there. And for the past 4 weeks, it has been lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so for the time being, it is a bearish sentiment on a weekly chart. Okay, so that's on a weekly chart. Let's look at it from a daily perspective. And this is where I would look into entering it. Okay. For me, I'm setting support lines. Okay, actually, let me not do a support line right now and try to explain it all from the get-go. Easiest way to do it is doing a Fibonacci, which is done automatically. Oh, it doesn't cover it. Okay, fine. That's the lower end. So obviously, with Tesla, if you're going to, this is helpful if you actually own shares, because the options are just way too expensive, and you're paying more for theta than anything else, and that's the premium price. Okay, so a couple of things that I observe, and this doesn't have to be Tesla. Okay, it could be any stock. Okay, a couple of things that I observed from there is that it had been trading in a in a wide range right here. Okay, it was basically consolidating within here. And then all of a sudden, it chose, sometime in the beginning of October, it chose to break out. And so this is where swing trading comes in. Had you followed this, and let's say you were there. Actually, no, let's go there. The market is closed, okay? You hadn't had time to jump in and buy or sell anything. But at the end of the day, you're flipping through, because the way you can flip through is just, I have a list of stocks, and I can actually flip through this and look for buy and sell signals, right at that particular moment. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. That was the original intent. And instead of having a bot, your finger was the bot. Okay, flipping through it. Now you look at Tesla over here, and this is the way the Indicator Pro works. And this should be a good review for those of you who have it, right? There's a sell signal. Ding. Okay, is it crossing over the yellow? Yes. Is it crossing over the blue? Yes. Is the yellow line crossing down below the blue, forming a death cross? Yes. Is there a doji within the last candle or the last 4 candles? Yes. 5. Is it above average volume? Not as much as this, but you know what? This is more volume than almost like, how many weeks? 3 weeks worth of a daily volume. So that is above average volume. Okay. So don't forget the red line for now, right? And so looking at that, you are having six confirmations, 5 or 6 confirmations that this is a good signal for you to enter. Okay, so in this time, let's say, Munish, the next day you're like, oh man, I can't trade again all day. I have to work starting at 8 a.m. in the morning and I can't get home till 6 p.m. Great. You can put a pre-market order for options as good to till canceled and say, I want to enter Tesla. Okay. Fibonacci levels are here, so you want to aim at, let's say you do a vertical spread of, let's say, 270 put, 265 put. That is your $5 vertical spread. And because it's a vertical spread, you will pay no more than $2.40. And you can put that as a limit order and put it in pre-market and go off to work. And what will happen is, no matter how the price moves, somewhere along the way, your order will get filled. And then the next day you look at that and go, ooh, hey, I'm already positive. Okay. And then when you look at the buy signal, you go, oh, okay, maybe I need to exit. So you look at that buy signal, and this is the way the Indicator Pro works. Okay. Now, this is swing trading. It's not day trading. So you're not, quote unquote, trying to lock in your profit. Okay, there's a buy signal. What do? Do I get out? Well, is it above the yellow line? Not the closing price, no. Is it above the blue line? No, far away from it. Okay. You look at the volume, and it's based upon low volume. So no. Is there doji? Well, the previous day, it's actually a dragonfly. It's not like a doji. Okay, 2 confirmations. Anything else? That's it.
Doesn't it have to be above the orb 5 also?
That's only on a daily.
Okay,
On a day trade, I mean.
gotcha.
Okay.
So orb 5 is mainly just for daily.
Yes.
Okay.
It's or 5 is the opening range boundaries of the trading price of a given stock within the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Well, what it does is it sets you the bowling lane. And whichever direction that it goes out of, the upper or lower, that's going to determine the direction of it. But you can't jump at every single one that goes out of bounds. You have to look for, this is where indicatorPRO comes in, and it gives you that confirmation that yes, this is a ideal entry.
Okay.
So on a swing trade, okay, so you have to change your mindset on a swing trade because you bought a swing for like 2-3 months from now. Okay, this was what was it, September? So you're buying out like 60 to 90 days out, not weeklies, not 2 weeks from now, 60 to 90 days out. Okay. Now, if you bought a naked call or put on a Tesla and it was 2-3 months out, guess how much you would pay? $3,000 per contract. But if you get a vertical put or a vertical call on Tesla would be $10 differential, but most of them it'll be a $5 differential. You will not pay more than $240. That's the max you ought to pay. If anything, you want to put in $220 or less, $2 even, okay? Because at $2, it gives you a 1.5 to 1 risk-reward ratio. All right. So here, Munish, you're following so far?
Yes, I am following it. I think the spread you're talking about is right now is a debit spread, right?
Yes, it's a debit spread, not a credit spread.
Okay, so now if I'm paying like $2.4, but I have the limit, I have the like upper limit also. Like I cannot get the profit of maybe maximum $2, right? Am I right? If you are taking a spread of 5, or unless you are taking a spread of 10.
So, okay, Derek, how come you're in the waiting room?
I'm getting on my mobile. I have to take the show on the road.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so if you don't mind letting me in there, I'm gonna get on my phone and
You're good to go.
I'll be there. I'm here.
Okay, good. So this is so without going too deep into the lesson, if you go under the education tab, there is a Zoom video as well as education tab where it talks about vertical spreads and the pluses and the minus. So on a $5 spread, if you're paying $240, understand that worst case scenario is you lose $240,
Right.
which you won't let it go out that way, obviously. But that's the worst that could happen. But your maximum profit asterisk is $2.60.
Right.
Okay, $260. Okay, so slightly better than 1-to-1.
Yes.
Right.
And
So
one more thing, like I'm not like still I can get time and during the
go ahead.
I still get a time during the day also, so you don't have to like again waste others' time also. Those other people might be here for a little bit short-term trading. Like I can still monitor it for half an hour, but instead of 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes to 30 minutes, I'm okay.
Yeah, you just watch the 1 hour candles.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, instead of 10 minutes.
Okay.
So now here's the asterisk. Okay, the maximum that you could make is $260. All right, let's walk it through. 275. Look, now it's breaking through your price level. Okay, look at how far it has dropped. Okay, and it's barely October. There's another sell signal. Look at that. You could have entered here. You could have entered here. So the beauty of swing trading, okay, the beauty of swing trading is that you don't have to watch the screen all day. Actually, in day trading, what we want to do is we only want to watch the screen from 9:30 to 11, and that's it. We're done.
I work 4 days a week too, so I swing trade a lot. I have Wednesdays off because I work 10-hour days. So while I'm at work, I can walk past my computer because I work in a warehouse. I can walk past my computer every 30 minutes and look at it. But most of my stuff I do on Wednesday or like
Good.
you said, 9:45 to 10, 11 o'clock, and I'm out
Yeah.
back to work.
And that's a good one. Good thing. One of the reasons that, John, you will have a higher winning percentage is that the moment you hit your price target, like, hey, I made $100, I'm out. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's 2% profit.
Right.
You hit your number.
Profit's profit. In this game, staying green is always a win.
Yeah, and the dollar amount at the end of it, whether it represents 2% or 20%, $100 is still $100.
Right.
Okay, so work both for sure. Okay, now the price that we had gotten was 270, 265, right? Okay, and let's say we were here and it had dropped all the way to like 240. Okay, how do you take this and make more money than $260? Anybody know?
Maybe you sell the put right now. Whatever you bought, just put.
Sort of. That's possible, but that's tricky. Malav, you want to interject if you have the answer or a guess? Ken is not there. What can you do with a vertical spread that you cannot do as readily with a single option? It's called a roll-up.
I'm about to say that. Okay.
No, you were going to say that, right?
Yeah,
it's a roll up on a call or roll down on a put.
Okay.
So you could have taken this, and all platforms do this. You could have taken that and then clicked the rollover, the roll up or rollover button. And then, like in Thinkorswim, it automatically pre-fills that stuff. And what I will do is that instead of keeping it the same price, I would drop down now the price at 250, 245. Even the way, I'm down here to 228. What am I doing? Dropping it to 250 to 245. Well, I still want to give myself that upper roof. Okay. But as I drop that down, when you roll down, you're able to collect credit.
Okay.
Sometimes typically 70 to 80 cents on a 220, on a 240, 240, 70 cents. So about a third of it is a good roll down price. Okay. So when you roll it down, you actually will get $70 back in credit.
Okay.
So your net cost on that now is from 240 to minus 70 is $1.70.
Yeah.
Okay. And in 2000, year 2000, when the market was just going up, I would roll up, 2, 3, 4 times to such a point where I was actually taking credit beyond my expenses.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how you would do in terms of roll up or roll down in order to maximize your profits. Okay. So that's what you would do with swing trade. Okay.
Okay. Understand.
And when you look at the daily and you're able to monitor your time, your entry would be in the 1 hour mark. So it will be you're looking at this weekly, daily, and 1 hour.
Okay.
And whenever you see that sell signal on the 1 hour mark, okay, let me change it here.
So this is for intraday, right?
Intraday, in terms of entry, intraday entry,
Understand.
after you saw that sell signal right there. Okay. Actually, you could enter it at any time, whether it's hitting a high or low, mid, it doesn't matter, because again, you're not day trading, you are swing trading. That's the big difference. Okay, so hopefully you find that helpful. And you know, this really, it's that was the original purpose that I had gotten, that I've made this, was for swing trading.
So in this case, right now, weekly is down, daily is showing down. So on this right hand side, the time frame is a 10 minutes, I believe. So it is coming up. So what trade to take? Oh, on the basis of your signal. Okay, buy signal. Am I right?
So because of the way there's a sell, here's another sell signal for Tesla. So
That is 10 minutes. Okay.
you could have gone into late Friday and sold or put to, you know, December,
Okay.
okay, to maximize your profit. Okay,
Understood.
good. Malav, do you have any questions? Feel free to also type it in. Oh, wait, there was a typing. There's a chat.
10 minutes weekly.
Oh, what does the yellow line indicate? So this is, it's a exponential moving average. The blue line is the moving average, the 9 moving average, okay? And that it's the yellow line that you follow in terms of its relation to the blue line. So if it goes down the blue line, it's a one confirmation for a sell or a put. If the yellow line goes above the blue line, and it actually goes up higher and it gets wider and wider, that's a confirmation for a buy or getting a call.
So yellow is the yellow is a 9 EMA, or the blue is a 9 EMA, and the yellow is the so is it like 21 and 9 EMA you have the?
Let me see. Inputs. Yeah, 9 EMA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
CJ, by the way, I've been here. I was on mute. I didn't realize it.
Oh, okay.
Came
Yeah,
back from the restroom.
we can't see your face. All I see is
Oh,
your
well,
ceiling.
I have to do that because it blocks my view on my bigger screen, the laptop.
Okay, no problem. Well, no problem.
I could stand up and you could see me, but that might scare some people. So,
All righty. Yeah, feel free to type in if you know, I'm talking or, you know, answering somebody else's question. So Malav, I hope that answers your question. Feel free to type in any others. Okay. So going back to John, I know you had a bunch of questions that we were going to address today. What other questions do you have in relation to the indicator?
So on the Telegram, the indicator bot where it has the call outs, it'll say entry. I'm just going to read
Yes.
the very last one, for example. Or actually, I'm going to read one that gave an exit 100% trade.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah, because that's what was confusing me the most.
Okay. So because of its confusion, now I've mentioned it on the video on regarding the bot, the short video. I had mentioned it there that if it is a stock, you know, and you're day trading that stock, like sniping, you know, that's your the bot saying, hey, it's showing signs that it's weakening. You know, you should get out. Problem is, if you follow it blindly, your winning percentage goes down to like 50-60%. Okay, on an option, we're not doing that.
Right.
Okay, so that's number one. I've mentioned it there. I've even typed it in. Like, congrats to those who took the buy call outs, ignore the exit. Okay, well, so it's going to be upgraded either later today or Monday. Monday. Right now in India, it's a festival season. Munish, are you Indian?
Yes, sir.
Is it Diwali or another
It's
festival?
Diwali, this Indian Christmas.
Indian Christmas, Diwali. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So because that's happening, it may be a little delayed till Monday, but we are upgrading it now. Once we officially release it, it's going to be indicatorBOT 2.0. And I'm glad that we're testing it, and people have been giving me feedback on it, and we've been changing it here and there and whatnot. But yeah, the exits, it's just confusing. So what we're going to do, right, is when the bot alerts, like for example, you said you wanted to mention the last one, Tesla.
Yeah.
What did you want to mention?
Well, it wasn't that one. Hang on, look, I gotta look at it on my phone real quick. So where it says exit Tesla 206.9, yeah, that one there, exit 100% trade.
Mm-hmm.
But the call out for it was 208, 207 to
Yeah.
buy. And I didn't understand how it went down on a buy and they made 100% on that when they sold it for less than it was bought for.
Yeah, it's not making 100%. It's saying exit 100% of your trade.
Oh, okay.
Like if you bought 100 shares, sell
Gotcha.
100 shares.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes more sense. But so how did it, I guess, was it saying exit because it was a stop loss? Because it said it bought it to.
So that's the thing too. It's not a stop loss.
Okay.
It is at that point, it was showing signs of reversal.
Okay. So it was saying you should think about getting out.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so,
Yeah. As I was wondering how it said it bought at 208.20
yeah.
and sold at 206.
So I told them, get rid of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
makes sense. But now that I know what you mean, exit 100% of your
Yeah.
equity. That
Mhm.
makes more sense now. I'm thinking that they made 100%. I'm like, how the hell did they do that?
No.
Okay.
So here's the thing too. Had you followed this, you lost money.
Right. I didn't follow it because
Yeah.
I looked at it at first and I was like, I don't understand it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it until I do.
Bingo. Good. I'm glad.
Mhm.
So, so we're going to keep this until we can get that upgrade going, and then what it'll say thereafter is it's going to say this. So let's say Tesla entry at 208,796, and instead of doing this, day indicator, all these lines,
Mhm.
they don't fire unless there's 6 confirmations anyway.
Right.
I tried 5, but very few fire for some reason. So it's just going to say like 6 of 6 confirmations, and then it's going to give a potential target price, suggested, recommended, profit target, and a stop loss.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, I think I told them. To have target price 1, target price 2, and a suggested stop loss.
Gotcha.
And so once that comes out, we'll update the programming and be able to do that. Okay.
Sweet. Okay.
So that'll be a major improvement. So that way removes any type of confusion. And here's the thing too. The usage of this varies per trader. Okay.
Mhm.
If you do what you do, John, I wouldn't be surprised that at the end of the week, you'll be like 12 for 13, 15 for 16. and really be consistently at the 90% mark. Okay, because you're hitting your target money and then you're just getting out.
Right.
Okay, so if you're a sniper, you're going to be a very, very good sniper. Okay. So for example, I think on a Tuesday, it cost me dearly because I went profit on coin, and then I had CRM, NVDA, and QQQ. These were calls. So
Mhm.
already they were going against the trend, and I left it at a 30% profit, 30% stop loss. Well, guess what? At 1 o'clock, SPY just went bloop bloop.
Yeah.
It dipped, and it just kicked me out of all three of them. And to think that all three of these, if I wasn't stopped out at the end of Friday, all of them would be paying a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, literally thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I regret doing that.
That's one of the things I'm trying to learn is I find sometimes I get out too early, and if I'd have just held, it would have went and made me some money. But then the ones I do decide to hold never come back. So I'm like, I gotta find my balance. I'm still learning
Right.
that.
So everybody heard that, right? So how do you make sure that you don't chicken out and worry and stress out, overnight? It's like, oh, I hope it goes, I hope it goes, I hope it goes, right? Trade with the trend, the overall trend.
Well, I will say the day I hit 60% on Nvidia, I had planned on getting out at 30, but I followed the indicator pro, and it wasn't showing me anything that says I should get out of my put. So I held it. It hit 40%, and I looked at the chart. It still looks strong. So then when it hit 60, I actually was getting busy at work and couldn't do my computer, so I just got out then, said I'm happy with
Perfect.
that, and walked away. So,
Awesome.
and I never even went back to see how much I would have made if I would have held it because I didn't.
No
Can't
need
see-
to look back.
Right, exactly. Because then you just get upset. You're like, oh. You're like, I could have held.
Yeah. So this is what you ought to look back. If you lose a trade, those are the only ones that you should look back, not
Yeah.
to beat yourself up or be regretful, but actually to review your trading strategy and to evaluate it, because
Yes.
every loss is a lesson.
Yes.
Okay, every loss is a lesson. So since you paid for it, right? You paid a premium, whether it's $300 or $1,000, right? Because my stop loss on each of the three was $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I paid $3,000 for this lesson. What
Tuition.
I learned from it, and I'm not going to make that same mistake for a long time. I don't know about ever again, but definitely not for a long time. Okay, so good. Any other questions regarding the Indicator Pro or Indicator Bot? Just a reminder, all of you should have the bot on Telegram and Discord. On Telegram, where you get the bot signal, please make sure to have a unique sound.
Yeah, I do.
So when it all your phone calls are like but on Telegram, give it a unique sound that, I don't know, cha-ching, whatever it is that tells you, oh, this is important. I'm getting a buy or sell alert on indicatorBOT. Let me check it out, so you can take that moment to check it out. Now, those of you who are working and you're not in front of the office computer, there is I don't know, you can't see it, but there is a Tradingview app, both on Apple as well as your
Android.
Android. God, I couldn't think of it. Your Android store. Let me see. There is the TradingView app available on both of the stores. If you download it and you sign in with the same username that you have on your
TradingView.
why is he not coming in? There you go.
Okay.
Welcome, Sarak. If you sign into it, right, the indicator and everything will show up. Your watch list. Okay, so here's my watch list. These are the different watch lists that I've created. You can create a new list and add the stocks that you are working on, that you have been observing, and it'll show up. Okay, and you can scan it while you're there. Make sure to have UVXY in there, and you'll be able to scan it. Okay, and right there, it's inconvenient, but you can, use your finger to move it around and to see whether that signal is a confirmation for that buy or sell signal on the bot. Okay, and if everything looks good, okay, because understand this, the bot, all it's doing is technically reading, yes or no. It's strictly binary. Has it crossed the, is it above EMA? Is the volume above average? Is there a signal? Is it above the orb? All of those things, okay? So the 6 confirmations, that's what it's looking for. And if it goes yes, 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 it's just sending you a signal and saying, hey, look, here's a potential entry into the stock for you to look at. But you still have to look at it yourself on the Indicator Pro to make sure that everything looks fantastic. It's a yes, but it's like a firm yes. It's not like a small little candle like this, but it's a nice long candle. Okay, so Malav, yes, there is a recording that you'll be able to get it. Okay, and I will be sharing it. I have all of your emails signed in, so that's good. Good. So that's one of the ways for you to make sure that you take advantage of the bot, because that's the purpose of it. Is like you're not in front of the computer all day, and you want to make sure to not miss it. Who was it? There was one member who had posted it. Laval, I think it was Laval. He was busy working, and he heard the alert, and he was able to jump into a trade that he would have totally completely missed. And he wound up making like $500 in a matter of like 30 minutes. So he loved it. It's like, oh my gosh, I would have missed out. It's like you're walking by a $500, five $100 bills on the street, and you totally missed it, and that's the way of looking at it anyway.
What is this yellow line? It is VWAP?
Yes, that's a VWAP.
And what was the dotted white line?
Oh, this one right here?
No, above the VWAP, I'm looking at the QQQ. The second set.
Yeah, that's a 5-day.
No, dotted.
Yeah, it's a 5-day. Actually, it's supposed to be off.
Okay.
But for that day, I turned it on. Yeah, you don't really need that.
I see.
If you want a dynamic, like take profit location or stop loss, you can use the 5-day VWAP.
Okay.
Okay. The day 2, 3, 4 are just too much information. So day 1, day 5, that's it. And even then, I would say just day 1. That's all you need. Okay. So this is what we got. All right. Something is here that is not supposed to be here. Okay, I can't tell. Good. So we got the Indicator Pro, Indicator Bot. Any other questions do you have in general?
Like I just went to the TradingView site. The Pro Plus is for $18 per month. I thought you mentioned $2 or $3. Is there any coupon code, something like that?
No, for the futures, I think real time is like extra $2.
Extra $2. Oh, I got it.
And it's a $2 difference between Pro Plus and Premium.
For the futures?
If
Interesting.
so, for the futures live pricing, it's like $2 a month.
Okay.
And then for Pro Plus to going to Premium is an extra $2 a month. And you know, when you get to Premium, really, you get a lot more than the $2 extra. It's worth it to be at the Premium.
No. Wait a minute. Like you're talking about our difference between Pro Plus and Premium in the basic package. Right now, it's telling me about $12 difference. So $2, you're talking about the data stream extra?
Yeah, that's the data stream.
Okay. So which one should I go? The Pro Plus is okay? Or you can answer me later.
So if you want to do futures, Pro Plus is okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, good. I do want to kind of cover the upcoming week. Everybody okay with covering upcoming week in terms of what we're looking at? Let me see. So this is one I want you to keep in mind for the upcoming week. The major news that is coming up are the following right here. Okay. Consumer price index is expected to go down. Wednesday, we're going to see new home sale price sales, which is expected to go down. Crude oil was the one that really messed me up anyway, because it was supposed to be up like 1 point whatever. It was minus 1.7. And then all of a sudden, the stock market started going down from that point on. Hardly recovered. So this coming Wednesday, you're having crude oil prices coming up. So on Wednesday, you don't want to trade. You really don't want to trade before 10:30. If you do trade, make sure you close out your position in profit by 10:25, 10:28. Okay. So John, I know you won't have any problems doing that, but just keep this in mind. This is what messed me up. This was the lesson for me. I'm actually going to write a post-it note on my computer. Crude oil inventory is at 10:30 on Wednesday. Okay. Now, another big number that's coming is durable good orders. You know, how healthy is the economy? They're expecting it to drop a little bit. GDP is going from negative to a forecast of 2.1. Okay. So if it's less than this, that's going to be bearish. If it's, you know, if it meets it or it's slightly higher or higher, you know, like 2.2, 2.3, then I think the stock market will be bullish. But if it's too high, like 3.0, okay, this is where now good news is bad news. Because then the FOMC, when they come in early November, it's just guaranteed for them to put the 75 basis points as well as another 75 basis points basically for the next two meetings. So that's going to be also bearish. Okay. So that's 8:30 in the morning. So thankfully, everything is before market open. Initial jobless claims. Friday, please take a note of this. The core PCE price index. Okay. This is what employers pay employees. and the impact that it has on, employee salary inflation, okay, it is expected to come in at 0.5. Okay, if this meets it or is higher, then the market is going to be bearish. Pending home sales, -5. Look at this, -2, -5. I mean, the market is just not good right now. It's not selling as well. Mortgage rates are at 7%. House prices, they're dropping it, but not enough people are jumping in to do to try to make a deal. Okay, there's just not enough buyers. So overall, I think it could turn bearish, but that's my feeling. And boy, have I been wrong last week. Especially for the Friday work of the Friday results of the market. I was wrong. So the question is, why did the market all of a sudden turn bullish late in the morning? The bond market was getting destroyed. Okay. And two of the Fed members started talking in a way that sounded like they may taper the interest rate. So 0.75, they're like, yeah, we're going to do that. But it made it sound like December, it's going to be 0.5, and they're going to start lowering the increase of the interest rate. But that's the whole point. They're still going to increase the interest rate. Okay. So that's going to be still a persistent force on the market. Okay. So if you're going to be bullish, just keep in mind that you're facing a lot of headwinds. Okay. You're fighting against a lot of conditions that are present right now, and if anything, getting worse. On the flip side, Friday was just overbought. Okay. Now, 10 years, it slightly dropped, it tapered, but again, it's above 4.0. It's at 4.213. Okay, that's just too hot. Anything above 4, it's hot. It has to be below 4 in order for it to be like, a bullish undertone to everything. So right now for me, it's bearish. It doesn't show it here, but the 3-month rate is about 4.6. So how is it that the 3-month T-bill is 4.6 and the 10-year Treasury is at 4.2? Okay, that's what you call an inverse relationship. And when they invert it like that, it's a canary in the coal mine. Every major stock market crash was preceded by an inversion like that. CNBC would talk about that 2-year, 10-year. Okay. They need to start talking about the 3-month, 10-year. That's what's happening. And the lead into it, the last time that happened, which was the 2008 to 2010, the lead into it was 12 months. This time around, some people are saying that it's going to be a lot less longer than that. It's going to be far shorter than that. So, is the stock market crash imminent? Yes. When? I don't know. But when it happens, we will be surprised. I kid you not. Nobody will be expecting it when it has that leg down. Why do you think it's going to happen? Because recession is basically prognosticated for 2023, and also within the stock market, everything has taken place for a market crash, with the exception of one thing. Anybody want to take a guess of what that might be? What's that?
Employment.
Employment?
Yeah. Too high.
Employment being rising to 5% would be helpful, but right now being at 3.5% is not good for the economy, for inflation.
Correct.
Okay, but the one key element is what you call capitulation. What? Capitulation. It means that the investors have given up. Okay, and that has not happened yet. Money's still flowing into the market. Why haven't we had capitulation when QQQ is down 35% and SPY is down 25% year to date? Well, foreign countries are doing worse than we are. So based upon the markets, okay, we just happen to be the less ugliest chick. Because Europe is Britain is, oh, she's the ugliest, Japan is like, per dollar, you can get 150 yen. They've lost 25% value against the dollar. Okay. So even though our market is the way it is right now, we just happen to be, the least ugliest. And that's why money is flowing in. That's why the dollar is getting stronger. Okay. So that's kind of the overall macro view. And it is for that reason that I am overall long-term bearish. And if I'm going to get anything like Munish, you were talking about, swinging, I don't like to swing into puts, but as it stands right now, that seems to be the thing to do.
Oh, the trend.
Yeah, the trend is your friend, so you got to trade with the trend. But one of the reasons that I'm not too keen on it is this too. And this touches on the mid-year cycle that we're in right now. Okay, so all this is bad. What possible good news might turn the market, even with the Fed increasing rates and everything? What could possibly make it into a bullish market towards the end of the year? And it is this.
Change in Congress.
November 8th. Elections. So if the Republicans take over either the Senate or the House of Representatives, or both, that basically cripples what Biden can do. And that actually will be taken by the major institutions, not me or, individuals. Okay, we can have our own respective political views. Okay, we can respect each other's views without hating one another for it. Okay, it's just a differing view. But in terms of the major institutions, they don't care who comes in. They just want to make sure that they're divided. And because when they're divided, they're indecisive and they cannot push any type of agenda against them. And for that reason, it becomes bullish. Okay. So that's all we have for now. One last thing before we go. And then if you have any additional questions, you can DM me thereafter, because I'm already keeping you guys too long. Here we go. This is QQQ on a daily calendar, and what we're seeing is that right here, it's not stretching all the way there. Right here, there's a bullish engulfing candle. So everything was slowing down, and all of a sudden you had this taking place. It dropped down and went all the way up. This is considered a bullish engulfing candle. If you take this candle and this candle together, it can be called a bullish harami. Do you need to memorize the names? No, doesn't matter. Just the fact that you can recognize the formation. So when you have a candle like this, and then you have one that closes, not closes down, but closes above the previous candle's high and low, it's an engulfing candle. Does that guarantee that it's going to continually go up? No. Look at what it happened. Went up, went down, went up, went down, went down, went up.
Hey, CJ, can you real quick tell me what that blue and red area is?
Yeah, I'll go over that.
Okay.
Okay. So this is choppy market, even though we see what we see right here. All right. So now let's take a look at it from a 10-minute candle.
Is
And
that just a trend line?
what it is what you call a linear regression. And a linear regression basically gives you a sense of tilt of one way or the other, where it gives you, and the bluish and the reddish areas is, this is bullish, this is bearish territory.
So it's
top
almost
and
like a. I'm sorry. So it's almost like a VWAP, the middle.
It's like a wide VWAP.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, especially the middle. But this is kind of like, think of it as, we're talking about the VWAP being like your bowling, the orb 5 being a kind of like a bowling lane.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
linear regression is like 6 bowling lanes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And right now it is tilting slightly up, right this way. Now, how do you use a linear regression? You basically use it by looking at here. So this is what happens typically. If it touches the upper part of the linear regression, okay, inevitably it starts going down to touch the bottom of the linear regression. Just like a bowling ball that your 5-year-old threw. It goes thunk, thunk. Okay. So right now, the crossover that I see between the wick right here and the linear regression is right around there. Okay. And that happens to fall, Monday. Okay. So if Monday is bullish, we wanted to see this thing probably touch 277. And this is what will happen. If it goes out of bounds, like way out of bounds and stays out of bounds, we're likelier to have a bullish week. Okay? If it bounces off of this, and this is your resistance now, and starts going down, you can get a put and let it go down all the way to 271-ish, 272, 271. That'll be your area to get out. If it continues to go down, okay, and it breaks through this linear regression, okay, then it's going to go down to 267. So let's say it's Wednesday, and it broke around here. Yeah, it's still 271. So from 271 to 267 becomes a potential profit taking right there.
Okay.
And then if it breaks the 267, now we're looking at 260. If it breaks that, 254. So that is next week. Let me save that so that the next time you log off and log into your indicatorPRO, QQQ will pop up the way I have it right now. helpful?
Yes, very.
Any other questions? Okay. So it's already 90 minutes. Thank you so much for your time. This is recorded. You will get a copy that'll be posted. So you can review just the sections that you want to review quickly, and telegram me any questions that you may have thereafter. Enjoy the rest of the week. Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.
CJ.
You too.
Bye bye.